Good. Okay, so I just need. Okay. So what actually inspired you to do like Los Angeles?
Well, I mean, it was a number of things. It was like partly the town, like kind of the landscape of Lake Los Angeles itself. And I also used to have a student who told me a story about coming over the border and like getting stuck at a drop house and what that was like, and it was something I had never heard of before. So it was kind of rooted in a little bit of his story. It was kind of the nascent of the idea, and then from there we kind of made things up.
Now, for some of us who aren't familiar with Lake Los Angeles, this is not technically in Los Angeles. It's like up near Palmdale. Or
Yeah, it's like deep into Palmdale. I always describe it as maybe the most depressing place in the world.
Why would you say that?
Well, because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's like very deep down there, and then it's also like, it's this town in the '60s, which they tried to make into this like resort town. And they were trying to bring people out, and they built this fake lake, and then the lake dried up, and there's this kind of nothing there but these like desert rats and meth heads, and it's just a very interesting town, which you don't really know why people live there and what keeps them there.
Now, this is technically a third film of a series, from my understanding. What is the overall theme or achievement that you're trying to accomplish with all these movies?
Well, all three of them are named after locations. So they're all named after locations in the Antelope Valley. And I think thematically they all tie together because it's always someone in there kind of trying to achieve the American dream.
Now, but for this third film, you actually used Hispanics as a theme. I understand for the previous films it was more Japanese. Why did you went ahead and took a huge right turn with this?
Well, for the film, the lead actor in this film is a side character in my first film, Little Rock. So I wanted to kind of explore his character again, and so he spoke Spanish in Little Rock, and so it kind of made sense to make it in Spanish.
Now, are you from the Antelope Valley area? Is that why you love making the films in that region of Los Angeles?
No, I live close. I live in Valencia, which is like 45 minutes away, but I think there is something very similar about the towns, and I'm very accustomed to like being in these situations of like small town life. And I mean, there's obviously like more of this outsider kind of weirdness out in the Antelope Valley, but there's something akin to where I live, so it's something I'm attracted to.
What was the greatest challenge for you in doing this film?
I feel like every day was a challenge. I think mostly it was the first time working with a child actor, and so I was very nervous whether I could direct her well and what that would be like, but she did amazing, so I'm very proud of her.
And what about the Spanish stuff and everything? Are you very familiar with that for this film?
The Spanish, what, as far as
like in the Mexican themes and the Spanish.
Well, I grew up in a town that's like separated by train tracks, where like kind of like all the white people live on one side of the train tracks, and there's a big Hispanic community on the other side. So it's something I've been around my whole life, and like growing up in this kind of like bilingual kind of place. So yeah, I'm kind of very used to it.
And since now this is basically, from my understanding, the final film of your trilogy, are you going to basically move on to something else entirely different from after this?
Well, we're writing like a kind of a true crime murder mystery movie, and it might take place out in the desert again. So I don't know. I was trying to get out of the desert. My producer Alex was saying like, we have to make a movie like on a yacht or on an exotic island, like no more desert, but I think we might end up back out there, so we'll see. So it might be a decalogue, like Kieslowski's decalogue, where it'll be 10 films in the desert.
Oh yeah, and one more thing. When I was watching your movie, I noticed that you love doing landscape shots. Why do you love doing those type of things?
Well, I think it's such a beautiful landscape out there, and there's all this kind of beautiful production value that you're not paying for as a filmmaker, and also in my second film in the trilogy, Pear Blossom Highway, I don't feel we really captured the landscape that well. Mm-hmm. So this was a chance to kind of like really, because I think the landscape is it's a character in the film, mm-hmm. And I think it emotes a certain kind of feeling that without that, it's kind of hard to tell the story.
Terrific. Hey, thank you for the interview, and I've watched the film, and I do believe it's very beautiful, especially with your landscape shots.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.